So I was talking with a friend of mine, and something he said resonated quite strongly with me. The conversation was about how much of a nuisance flows can be in an org, particularly if you have an older org, and over the years, people have just come in and built flows, often without putting in a lot of thought. And as we talked, I realized that the challenge with flow is also a challenge with a bunch of other technologies, including generative AI. If it becomes way too easy to do very powerful things with technology, then the entry barriers disappear. And as attractive and as egalitarian as it sounds, the problem with that is people stop applying thought. So an example of that is flow. It's really easy to build flows. So you can just go ahead and add a bunch of fields and really pay no attention or longer term thinking around how this flow would impact other things. How would this flow impact things today in the system? And how would it impact them in the future? And over a period of time, this accumulates so much technical debt that it becomes really hard to get out of it. That's not to say that people don't write crappy Apex code, but because coding inherently requires you to think through it, the chances of everybody just jumping in and writing code is usually not there. You've actually gone through some semblance of technical training, the way to think about code, the way to write classes, the way to write functions. So you have some understanding and some method to the madness. With flow, it's a free for all. So you just come in, you do a trailhead, and you're like, oh, this is great. I can write flow. But the challenge is how much thought process would you put into the longer term maintenance, viability, and extensibility of that flow? Can we build other things on top of it? Did we add fields that are just literally for that flow? And how much of a house of cards have you built with flows? It's the exact same thing with AI. If you embrace AI and try to bring in thoughtlessly into your organization, you will run into the flow problem in the longer run. At GPTfy, we've tried to really think about it long and hard. And one of the things that I feel very strongly about is having good grounding rules in a prompt, having grounded data in a prompt, not only on the object that you are on, but also on related objects at a child level, at a second level, and then at a grandchild level. The point is that when you are building these things, whether it's a flow, whether it's a generative AI prompt or anything else, anything that is easy can become hard in the long run if we don't pay attention. I'd be curious to hear if you have any opinions, particularly on flows or on AI prompts.